Hi everybody, welcome back. In this video, we are going to discuss our module 10, which is the basic router configuration steps. This particular module goes in line with our earlier module 2, where we studied the different steps which are required to configure or the basic configuration of different Cisco devices. So let's see what we are going to learn in this module. Let's go. All the network devices should be configured properly to complete the setup. The configuration involves several steps, and once done, it will not only secure the device, but it will also enable the device to function properly. So in this particular module, let's see what we are going to learn for these basic configuration steps of a router. So there are three topics that we are going to cover in this module. The first thing is the configuration of the initial router settings. Second one is how do you configure interfaces of a router? And the third and the most important one is how do you configure the default gateway for the device? And if you go a little bit into this particular thing, the first topic itself is very much similar to how do you configure a Cisco switch. We did a lot of packet tracer activities on module 2, where we performed this initial configuration on a switch. More or less, the commands or the sequence of commands is the same. The only thing which differs from the switch from the router is here we have to configure the interfaces for a router, and also we will be able to configure the default gateway on the switch. Now to investigate further, let's see, these are the basic router configuration steps. If I were you, I would take a book and note these things down, because it's important that these steps should be followed. In your skills exam, you might be evaluated based on each and every one of these steps. So if you miss any of these steps, you will be losing marks. So let's start from the very first thing. The first step is your configuration of the device name. We already did this earlier. It's the same command. Just type in host name, and whatever name you want to give, you just give it there. If I want to configure the router as R1, I'll say host name space R1. That should do the job. And the next thing is you have to secure the privileged executive mode. That means you have to enter the command enable secret password. You just need to provide a password for it. You write it enable secret, and whatever password you want to give it here, you will give it here. Anything, Cisco 123 hash or anything, up to your own choice. Then secure user executive mode. Once again, what you have to observe is for the first mode, you have to type in line console 0 password, whatever password you want to give, please put it over here and then type in login. So this will provide the securing of your user executive mode. Next, secure all the remote telnet and SSH access. So here what we give is line VTY 024 virtual terminal. VTY stands for, so line virtual terminal 024. Put whatever password you have to put here as password, then type in login, and then please mention that transport input SSH or telnet. Okay, so this will actually help you that the input ways, whatever, if anybody is trying to access through SSH or telnet, they need to know this password. Otherwise, they will not be able to access your device. These are the same things. There is no change in whatsoever in the commands when you do the configuration of a switch or a router. Next thing is all the same. It's also the same thing. Encrypt all plain text passwords. You implement the command service password encryption. That should do the job. So it will encrypt each and every one of the passwords that you have set up. Last one is provide legal notification and save the configuration. Just put the banner message as MOTD message and end it. And the last but not the least is save the configuration. Please make sure you have to type in copy running config to startup config. So whatever you are running it, you have to copy it to start the config, so that what are all the things that you just put it down, what are all the steps, what are all the configurations you made, it will be saved into the NVRAM. So just as an example, just check these things out, how it is being done. As I said, consider a router, example router, which is R1. So similarly, if you want to perform the basic configuration, these are all the steps that you need to do. So first you have to put in the host name R1. Then you have to type in the user privileged executive mode. You have to type in as enable secret. I set up the password as class here. This is just an example. And then you have to secure the user executive mode, where I said line console 0 password. I'm setting it up as Cisco, and then login. Then I secured your virtual, this step also, your virtual logins. So line VTY 024 password Cisco. I set up the password as Cisco. Login. Then I would transport input SSH bar telnet and exit. Then I encrypted all the passwords using service password encryption. And then I gave the banner command, banner MOTD, message of the day. I just typed in that warning unauthorized access is prohibited. And finally, I copied all the running configuration into the startup configuration. So these are the basic steps that you need to do for configuration of a router. The similar steps are done for your switch also. There is no big difference at all whatsoever. The difference comes from this point onwards, where a router has several interfaces. And do remember my earlier modules, where each and every interface of the router has got its own IP address. So for that case, I need to go to that particular interface, specify what interface it is, and then I have to assign an IPv4 or an IPv6 address to it if I need to. And I have to mention no shutdown. So these are the three commands that we actually do to do this. Say, first I have to specify the interface type and number, whether it is fast Ethernet or gigabit Ethernet, and what is the number for it, Z0/0 or FH0/1, all those things. It's pretty much similar that we did in the module 2. Then it's always a good habit of adding description to these interfaces, so that it will help us. So the description interface, what it does is, it will actually tell the administrators that for this particular interface to what it connects to, whatever you want to write it down, you can put it in the description text here. Then assign the IP address. So for IPv4 address, you have to add the IP address, IPv4 address, and then the subnet mask. And then for the IPv6 address, type in the IPv6 address and the prefix length. That should do the job. And most importantly, if you don't give this no shutdown command, if this interface won't be activated, because by default, if it is in the down mode, you have to give this command no shutdown. Only then it will take all these details and it will get activated. So it is a good practice to use the description command to add information about the network connected to this interface. So it's always good. When I read this particular description, I can understand to which network is this interface being connected to. And the no shutdown command activates the interface. So in order to get better user to this, let me show you a couple of examples. Once again, consider this is my router R1. So first I'm going to do the interface of this particular one. Okay. Z0/0/0, this interface. So first what I need to do is I need to specify which interface I'm going to configure. So interface gigabit Ethernet G0/0/0. Usually, practically speaking, I simply write down interface G0/0/0. That should be sufficient. I need not type in the entire thing, but it's up to you. If you are going to make it a good practice, type in the entire name of the interface. Interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0/0. And then I'm saying that it's a description, link to LAN. Link to LAN, you can do anything, just put in the description part. So if you want to say that, maybe there is sometimes in the exams you will find the LAN names, maybe server 1 LAN, server 2 LAN, lab 1 LAN, lab 2 LAN. Here I can say that description lab 1 LAN or anything which I like. Then see the IP address for this particular interface is, this is the network address. I told you how to read this. 192.168.10.0 is the network address, and here the .1 is the IP address of this particular interface. So I write down 192.168.10.1. For the subnet mask, there is a prefix length that is given here 24. So 24. Once we will discuss about this prefix length in our next module, which is very, very important. How do you analyze the IP addresses and what are the different types of IP addresses, and also how to do the subnetting of IP addresses. That's very important. Not just here, for CCNA2 and CCNA3 also, you have to understand that. So this subnet mask, I got it from this particular prefix 24. So I type in the subnet mask. Unless until you type in the subnet mask along with the IP address, it does not have any value. Your system does not understand how to interpret it. It does not know what is the network portion and what is the host portion. So please make sure you remember that whenever you assign an IP address, you have to attach an subnet mask for it. But in case of IPv6, as I said yesterday, there is no problem with all the subnetting and anything. So you simply give the prefix part /64. If you see here, it is given down here. This is the network address once again. And in here, you just put one here that gives the interface address, IP address for this particular interface. So for this interface only, interface in the sense here, I'm saying that this is the link which the R1 is connected to. So for this link, I'm assigning an IP address of 192.168.10.1, and I'm assigning an IPv6 address of this 2001:db8:acad:10:1/64. 64 is the prefix length. Please make sure that you have to do this. And then most importantly, you have to type in no shutdown. Once you type in no shutdown, you can see this, all the states will be up. So change state to up. And these particular IP addresses which you have given will be assigned to this interface. So we'll check out another example also. If you see, this is another example. Now I want to do the same configuration for this interface. G 0 by 0 by 1. Similar terms, interface gigabit Ethernet G 0 by 0 by 1, and description is linked to R2. That's good. Link to R2. That means you're saying that this interface is linked to the router R2. And once again, I have to assign the IP address 209.165.200.224 is the network address. Here 225 is the interface IP address. I have written down here .225, and I have for the subnet mask. Please make sure whatever prefix is written over here, you have to place that many number of ones and the rest zeros. If I do that, I get 255.255.255.252. That is your IP address, IPv4 address. Now I have to do this. I have to assign the IPv6 address also for this particular link. So IPv6 address 2001:db8:feed:224:1/64, and then no shutdown exits. It is actually pretty simple. It's not rocket science over here. Just take the address and whatever you want to assign the IP address to it, just type the name down and provide a description so that it will help others, and then type the IPv4 address, IPv6 address, and most importantly, put no shutdown. That's fine. Then the link will be activated. So this is how you do it. And there are multiple show commands which will actually help you to verify whether you have done the all the configuration for this particular interface in the right way or not, whether you have given the right things or not. So for that, the first commands that we use is something called as show IP interface brief, which shows you just a brief summary about the interface. If you see here, say for this particular R1, we just configured two interfaces and both the IPv4 addresses are being shown up, and it is also showing that the status is up. Okay, there is no VLAN assigned currently. So it's saying that VLAN is not assigned and it is down. Now, if I want to find out what IPv6 address I have given, I'll simply show IPv6 interface brief. Now, once again, it's saying that for the two interfaces, whatever IPv6 address I have typed in there, it is showing, and it's showing that both of them are up. There is currently no VLAN assigned. So in order to verify, you have to get user with the show commands, because maybe in the exam or in practical world, if you want to make sure that you did all the configurations without any mistakes, if I were you, I will definitely use the show commands to just verify them again, whether each and every IP address that I assigned is the right one or not, or did I do it, because we are all human beings and it's common for us to do typing mistakes. So please make sure, keep these things in your mind. And this is a summary of all the show commands that we use. We just check this out, show IP interface and show IPv6 interface brief, and then we can also show you IP route. And this one thing, please remember that the show command for IPv4 is simply IP, and if I want to specifically see what I have assigned for IPv6, I simply need to write down IPv6. That's all. So show IP route or show IPv6 route, what it shows is the IP routing table stored in the RAM. It will display it. Yeah, in the last module, I actually gave you an description about the network layer routing table, C, L, O, D, all those things. Those will be shown over here. And show interfaces, it will display the statistics for all the interfaces on the device. This actually shows the IPv4 addressing information, whereas show IP interfaces, it will display the IPv4 statistics for all interfaces on a router. The last command, show IPv6 interfaces, it actually displays the IPv6 statistics for all interfaces on a router. So IP interface will actually display you only IPv4, whereas IPv6 will show you the IPv6. To just give you an overview and to make you better understand about these things, I will show you the examples for each and every one of the output screens for these particular commands which are typed in. So this is what we just saw, this show IP interface brief and show IPv6 interface brief. I'm not going to discuss this again. So it will just give you a very brief summary about what the interfaces are and about what the addresses are assigned for these interfaces. Okay. The next thing is show IP route and also show IPv6 route. Once again, if you see here, for this R1, there are only two interfaces. We just configured two interfaces, G00/1 and G00/0. You see both of them, it shows that both of them are directly connected routes and directly connected networks. It is showing the same thing. Similarly, for IPv6 route also, it is showing that it has only got a list of two interfaces, two directly connected networks. So as they are directly connected networks, I can see them by C and L over here. In the last module of network layer, earlier module of network layer, we clearly described what these particular codes stand for. So please make sure you get used with those codes, because maybe in the exam, if you are asked to troubleshoot a particular issue, you have to see what these codes are standing for. You have to understand by looking at this particular output. Maybe in your exams also, you will be given a snapshot of an output, and you'll be asked, what is the problem there? You have to understand these things. So please get used with these codes. So these are the commands. These are the sample outputs for your show IP route and show IPv6 route. Okay. And the next thing is show interfaces for a particular interface. It displays statistics for all the interfaces with the show interfaces command. Now, one thing please keep in your minds that the show interface gives you a detailed overview of the specific interface you are requesting. So here my specific interface I'm requesting is G0 by 0 by 0. It gives all the details. If you see last input, show interface, and all those things are written on here. Input rate, the MTU is given as 1500 bytes. The bandwidth is this is actually 10 Mbps. The delay is 100 microseconds. The internet assigned is here. So all these things, it's actually shown. The encapsulation, what you do, there is no loopback set on this. A lot of information is present. Whereas the next command, which is show IP interface, for the same thing, what it gives you is it gives you a quick summary of the layer 3 characteristics of the interface. It only gives you the layer 3 characteristics. If you see, once again, it shows you the MTU, address determined, broadcast address, internet address is even there. All these things, ICMP, IP fast switching, all those things which will be given or which are more pertaining to your layer 3 or your network layer. Do remember this. So show IP interface, a specific interface gives you a quick summary of the layer 3 characteristics, whereas the show interfaces, the earlier one, show interfaces will give you a detailed overview of the specific interface you are requesting, whatever you have written there. So these two are the show commands, and the same thing goes for your IPv6 also. If I type in show IPv6 interface, it gives me the information of network layer regarding to this particular interface with perspective to IPv6. So what are all the IPv6 addresses assigned? What is the group addresses? What is the link local address? All those things will be given here for IPv6. So these are the different show commands. So please remember in your brain the why show commands are being used. They're primarily used to troubleshoot it and also to verify whether the IP address assignment is done properly or not. You have to get used with the show command. And in this particular module, we have 3 packet tracer activities. I will be providing videos on those packet tracer activities also. So whatever you have just learned now, it will be put to use in those activities there. So I suggest each and everyone to do those activities on your own. You can watch the videos and then do those practice those on your own, so that it will become very much easier rather than just by having this theory. If you do it, it becomes much more easier for you to understand. The last topic for this particular module is the configuration of the default gateway. If you remember correctly, the default gateway, as I told you, is the door to which any packets going out of the network should pass through. Similarly, if you take as an example here, PC1 and PC2 belong to this network. And if a PC1 wants to talk with PC3 or PC4, which is belonging to another network, it has to go out of this network. For packets to traverse out of the PC1, the default gateway will be the interface to which this router is connected to. So the interface of the router which is connected to this network and also which has an IP address of that particular network only will become the default gateway. So in PC1 and PC2, when I assign the IP address, there will be always a small place in the default gateway. And there you have to type in 192.168.10.1 because it is the IP address of the interface which connects this particular network. That means that whenever packets go from PC1 to PC3, they can go directly here, and then the router checks fine because it is situated in this particular network. It then forwards to it. Similarly, for PC3 and PC4, the default gateway will be this particular address 192.168.11.1 because it is the IP address of this particular interface which is connected to this network. Remember that the default gateway will be the IP address of the interface which belongs to this particular LAN. This particular LAN means to which LAN it is connected to. Please remember that. Okay. So assigning the default gateway in a PC is easy. You can just type in there. But for a switch, you also need to mention the default gateway for a switch because unless until I mention the default gateway for a switch, I will not be able to access it remotely from other networks. I will not be able to access it. I will not be able to reach it. So for that reason, the only one command that I use in order to assign a default gateway in a switch is IP default gateway, and then whatever the gateway address is written down here, you have to write it down. So just check out this example. So S1 is connected to R1, and you know that for PC1 and PC2, the default gateway address is this, right? Thus for switch also, the default gateway address will be this particular interface address. Now in PC1 and PC2, I can just type in directly. But for switch, if I want to mention that the default gateway is this particular IP address, I have to use this command. I have to use IP space default hyphen gateway 192.168.10.1. Please observe that during default gateway assignment, we don't mention the subnet mask. We don't do the subnet mask work. Okay. So please do keep in your mind those things. Now, so this is regarding your default gateway on a switch. This is the only thing this is new, and also your interface IP address assignment on a router. The rest of the ones, they are very much similar to whatever you have studied in your module 2. So we have come to the conclusion of this particular module. So if you see this, these are the steps that we have studied for the initial configuration of a router. That is configuration of the device name, securing privileged executive mode, securing the user mode, securing the remote access, securing all passwords, or encrypting all passwords, and provide legal notification, which is the banner, and then finally saving the configurations. And for routers to be reachable, the router interfaces must be configured. So you have to type in the no shutdown command once you give the IP address assignment. And also to verify whether the interface configuration is done properly or not, we have various show commands. Show IP interface brief, IPv6 interface brief, show IP route, IPv6 route, show interfaces, show IP interface, and show IPv6 interface. Here you have to specify what particular interface you are interested in. And for an end device to reach other networks, we already studied this. A default gateway is to be mandatorily configured. You have to configure it mandatory. So generally for the host, you simply type in the router interface IP address. Whereas for a switch, you have to use this command, IP default gateway IP address. This is a global configuration command. So and in this context, actually, I'm going to give you some, I'm going to do the videos on the packet tracer activities for every one of this component. Make sure that you watch those videos without fail, because you just studied the concepts over here. And for you to get a better understanding of these concepts, if you look at those videos, and I suggest you and I request each and every one of you to please do it once on your own. It will be very easy. Okay. So hopefully everyone does that, and just check out the packet tracer activity videos for this particular module. Thank you very much, and have a good day, everyone. Thank you.